Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to dive into the Virgo Full Moon and the total lunar eclipse that's happening towards the end of this week. For most of you, it'll be in the early morning of March 14th here on the Pacific Coast. It's late night, right before midnight on the 13th. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's happening with the gates that these are involved in. But really what I want to focus on today is talking a little bit about the full moon and about an eclipse and what an eclipse means. And then also there is a very powerful alignment that is happening among 5 different planetary bodies that are happening at that same time. So that's what we're going to dive in more today. And make sure that you stay on so that you can see how these are going to relate to you in your specific human design chart, and you'll know how to make the best of this particular very potent alignment that's coming up at the end of the week. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, turn on your notifications so you get all of the videos when they come out. And let's go ahead and dive in. Before we get started, I want to invite you to a masterclass that I am doing on Tuesday, March 18th. It's going to be at noon Pacific time, and that's 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we're all on daylight savings times right now. But then for our friends in Europe and in the UK, they haven't changed their times yet. So it's going to be at 8 p.m. European time, CET, and 7 p.m. in the UK. So just make sure that you get that timing right. So this masterclass is on midlife purpose by design. And this is particularly for women because this is really kind of our sovereign period that we move into, where we're like mid 40s, going into our 50s, our 60s, and even our 70s. This is our sovereign period where we've kind of done our maiden and our mother period, right? And we're moving into a full bodied experience as a mature woman. And we are very alive in the world today. You know, it used to be that we didn't have such a big period where we have so much vitality still, and we have so much purpose for us to be exploring. And that for many of us during this time, our purpose changes, like what it is that really brings us alive, what it is that makes our lives be meaningful. I know I had major changes right when I was turning 40. I had major changes right when I was turning 50. And I had changes again when I was turning 60. So human design has a particular way of looking at all of those different periods. And so I want to share some insights about that with you. And then also human design has some really key places that you can look in your chart to get a sense of what can bring more meaning and more purpose into your life. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So everyone's invited. It will be specifically oriented towards women, but everybody's invited if you want to come, because you will find different material in there that can still be useful for you. All right. The registration will be at the end of the video, and it'll also be down below. And I hope that you'll join us. This is our community event for the month. And I always love to connect with you in this way. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this eclipse. So this is a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses always happen with the full moon. And so a lunar eclipse is when the earth casts its shadow across the moon. Okay, so the sun's shining, the earth gets in the way, and it casts a shadow, which is why the moon looks kind of red. So we've got this big, bright full moon, right? And then we've got the shadow that goes across it, and then it moves on. So the question is both, what is the full moon illuminating, which is something we ask with every full moon, because the full moon is a culmination of a lunation cycle. It is the brightest time, right? Where we are waxing, getting brighter, bigger. And then we hit the full moon, and then it's waning, getting smaller, all the way to the new moon, right? That's how the lunations work. So here we are at the apex of the full moon, right? You can go out at night during this time, and it's like a searchlight is on the earth, right? You can walk around at night without a flashlight or anything when we've got the full moon. until the Earth shadow goes across the moon, right? And then we have this experience of what was illuminated going into darkness. So there's a lot of different ways you can interpret this, okay? And you may, from your own traditions, have ways that you interpret this. I'm going to just offer this up from my understanding. And then, of course, use what you already know to enhance your own experience of this. So this will be visible throughout the Americas. So if you do live in the Americas and you like to check out things like this, it'll be happening late at night for most of us, but you can go and see it, because sometimes there are traditions where you don't look at eclipses. It's like, no, that's, kind of bad juju. And there are others where it's really powerful for us to actually witness that happening. So again, work with your own tradition in this. But whether you're looking at it or whether you're not, we are experiencing a sense of illumination and darkness and illumination again. So one way to think about it is, what is covering up your light, right? What have you allowed to cover up your light? What have you put a bushel on your head because you're afraid of being visible? And this is something that many of us have felt through the course of our soul's journey, because earlier lives were maybe more violent or maybe more coercive, more tumultuous. Some of us are experiencing that in the world today, but we have a lot of trauma imprints potentially inside of the cells of our body that have to do with this, where we lead us to kind of want to be a little bit more like this, or we walk around like this a little bit more, right? And yeah, this is a time here on the planet where we are being invited, Pluto into Aquarius, we're being invited to step into our personal power, into our own sovereignty, and to be able to do that in community, in the context of community. Even as some of the bigger systems and the bigger structures and things around us are breaking down, this is the time for the individual to really be stepping into our own power. And that, my friend, includes you, for you to be stepping into your power and for you to be coming out and illuminating again. If you've had this kind of closed in, come out and let your light shine. So this is an opportunity for you to do that. That's one way to think about this. Another way to think about it is, what is this full moon illuminating that you've kind of kept in the background that you maybe haven't wanted to see, but is actually coming up and the full moon is illuminating it? Right? So what might that be? What is coming up for review for you right now? What is it that you're being shown that you can work with? I did talk about this specifics of the Earth and the moon being in the gate 6. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that clip in here right now for you to check it out.
Then we have a lunar eclipse in Virgo that is happening on March 13th. So lunar eclipses always happen during the full moon. So this is going to be a full moon, and it's happening in Virgo, and it's happening in the gate 6. So the gate 6, one of the more challenging gates in human design. In traditional human design, it's known as friction, and in quantum human design, it's known as impact. And so when you're working with the gate 6, you really want to be paying attention to the quality of the energy that you're expressing, because it can come about in a little bit of a kind of a way, a little bit. So, right, friction, right? So be aware during this lunar eclipse, right? Everybody's going to be experiencing this while the Earth is in the gate 6. And especially here, the moon is going to be in the 6, and it's lit up by that full moon, right? And the 6 is one of the 4 gates in human design that we say has aura busting qualities. So what does that mean? It just means that those energies are more penetrating than other energies in the chart. Now, all of the energies, if you have it defined in your natal chart, you're going to be transmitting that energy to other people. But when it's one of those 4 aura busting gates, it's even stronger. That's one of the reasons it's been renamed impact, because it does have a lot of impact. It can. So the question is, so this is tribal energy. It's on the emotional solar plexus, so it's emotional energy. And so this can show up a lot in relationship in particular. So take a look at what arises for you around relationships. And also know that, Virgo is this beautiful energy. Virgo loves beauty. Virgo is a divine feminine energy. Absolutely, right? And this could be a time where you want to just be taking better care of yourself, just making sure you have what you need, making sure that your body is hydrated, that you're giving yourself good food, getting the right exercise, getting enough sleep, just doing all of those things. And when you do that, Virgo really loves that. And it's also going to make it easier for you to manage the intensity of the energy of that gate 6. Because if you're under-resourced, think about it, right? If you don't get enough sleep, if you're eating food that is throwing you off, right? Your digestion isn't working all that well, right? You're not getting exercise and you're kind of being lethargic. Then if something comes up in your relationships, you're much more likely to have conflict, right? You're much more likely to have friction. Whereas if you're well-resourced, you're taking good care of yourself, you're caring for your body, you're caring for your emotions, you're caring for your mental health, then if something comes up in your relationships, it's much more likely that you can navigate that, with ease, for one thing, but also just from a more grounded way, because Virgo is grounding, right? We want to be grounding during this full moon, and you can approach it in that way so that you can come to an agreement or a way of being with each other that really works for everyone.
So yes, when we've got a lot of energy in the 6, it's something we need to work with. Fortunately, the earth is lighting up as well as the moon, so we can really ground ourselves in this understanding that our energy is going to be very impactful during this time, right? Other people are going to feel it and we're going to feel it from other people. So this helps us as we really ground. It helps us to be more responsive and less reactive. In this image, I took a segment of the human design mandala just to show you that over here on the right-hand side of the image, we've got the earth and we've got the moon, and we also have the south node. That's all the way over here on the right. It's in Virgo. And then over on the left side of the image, we're going to zero in on this and unpack this a little bit more. But this is where we have got the pile up of all of the different planets, and including the sun is in the gate 36. So we're going to want to take a little bit deeper look at that. So here we've got all of these different planets that are moving from Pisces into Aries, and in some cases in Aries back into Pisces when they're retrograding and then moving forward. So this is from the mandala of when the lunar eclipse is happening. But I wanted to show this to you because on the other side of the mandala, right, we've got a lot that is going on. We've kind of got this balance point of what's going on with the earth and the moon in the south node on one side, and then we've got all these planets going on the other side. So let's just take a look at this. So when we're moving from Pisces into Aries, so Pisces is the very last sign in the zodiac, and it is dissolved. It's watery, right? Pisces is watery, obviously. Neptune rules Pisces. It's dreamy. It's the subconscious. It's a great time when the sun is in Pisces for us to be really dreaming into the world that we want to be living in, right? Dreaming in the life that we want to be living in. And so that's definitely on offer right now. And then as soon as we move into Aries, Aries is like, let's make it real. Let's move forward. Let's make some stuff happen, right? It's very much about personal agency. It's very much about the individual. It's ruled by Mars, which in sort of traditional astrology is the god of war. But in human design, it is really awakened expression. We like to talk about Mars as the spiritual warrior, right? So it can be as we move into Aries that we're moving into a more spiritual warrior essence. And Neptune ruling Pisces is in Pisces right now, right at that very last degree of Pisces in the gate 25. And then it's going to stay in the gate 25 and move into Aries at the very end of the month on March 30th. But for right now, Neptune ruling Pisces is in that gate 25, which is the gate of spirit or the gate of love of spirit. And so we've definitely got that right here conjunct with the sun and with the North Node. And then on the other side of that, we've got Saturn in the 22. And so the 22 is the gate of surrender in quantum human design. And it's very much about our ability to receive downloads from superconsciousness because it is in the knowing circuit. but then to be able to surrender to the higher guidance that's coming to us in that way. But also Saturn coming right here with the sun and with the North Node, and with Neptune, right? They're very close together here. And so Saturn is bringing some structure into all of this. And Saturn is actually going to catch up with Neptune in Aries a little bit later. And so Saturn is helping to bring some structure into what is being lit up by the sun, and to this dreaminess that we have with Neptune. So that's happening here. And then in addition to that, we've got Venus in the 17, and then we've got Mercury in the 21. Now, the thing I want to say about this is that Mercury is about to go retrograde on the 15th, which is Saturday, right? And Venus is already retrograde. So they are here at their fullest extent moving forward, and Mercury is about to turn around and go back up through the 17, the 25, and the 36. Venus is already on her way, moving back through these gates. So if you look, you can see that we've got Saturn and the Sun and Neptune are all moving forward through these gates. Venus and Mercury have already moved forward through them, and now they're moving backward. So we're going to have a little bit of moving forward, moving backward feeling inside of you, right? Because we've got planets doing both things at this time. And so you might feel a little jaggedy and not quite knowing what direction you're going. But I think the main thing for you to be absorbing right now is we've got all this dissolving energy, which is what Pisces and Neptune are about, especially when Neptune is in Pisces. It's just, we're dissolving. So what is it that you are dissolving for yourself right now? And then also creation, because as soon as we move into Aries, we're creating. The very beginning of Aries is known as the creator degree. So if you want to go deeper for this, in your own self-study, here are the different gates that are being lit up by these 5 planets right now, whether they're moving forward or moving back. If we're talking about Venus and Mercury, and then the others are moving forward, and of course they're going to turn around and move forward too. But these are the gates that are really being lit up. So my suggestion is that you go ahead and screenshot this and see, do you have these gates already lit up in your chart or not? If they're lit up, they'll either be red or black, right? Or they'll be white, which means that they're open, right? They're not defined. So if they're defined, you already have a relationship with these energies. And then the question is, what is your relationship with them? And you can be kind of feeling into, as these planets are going back and forth between those gates, do you feel any difference for yourself or not? I know for me, I have the 22 that's open. I have the 36 that's open. I have the 25 that's open. The 17 and the 21 are both defined in my personal natal chart. So for me, the 22, the 36, and the 25 are kind of the big news for me. What's going on for me in my chart? What's going on for me in my own energy field as all these planets are moving through them? And then for me with the 17 and the 21, both in Aries, the question is what is coming alive for me that might be new when one of these different planets is moving through than what I have in my own natal chart. So this is something that you can do. That's a self-study for you. And you can just be leaning into what are the options for you? What are the possibilities as you lean into, for example, Saturn in that gate 22, right? We just had the sun in the gate 22, so we're just moving out of that. But Saturn is still here. So what's your relationship to the knowing circuit, to receiving the downloads that are coming your way, to your emotional energy, and to your ability to surrender to spirit to lead you forward? What's your relationship to this potential energy of crisis, right? That again is in the emotional solar plexus that the 36 is bringing to you. So the 25, I just talked about that. Neptune is in the 25, really helping us to bring in this energy of love, of spirit. And it's very interesting because, like I said, it's going to be in Pisces and then it's going to move into Aries. So we're going to have both of those experiences experience is inside the gate 25. Then with the 17, Venus right now is in that 17, and it's a gate of opinions or anticipation, and it is related to what we value. And so Venus is all about our values, right? And so we're reviewing our values, we're reviewing our relationships, we're reviewing our opinions, our perspectives on things. And are we in alignment with what it is that we've just kind of been thinking or believing by default, or the values that we used to have? Are they still really alive for us? Are they in alignment with our divine feminine energy? And are we grounded in them or not? And then here we've got Mercury in the 21. The 21 is, I've been renamed it the gate of stewardship. It's actually my sun gate. The sun will be here soon too. And so it is this energy for well stewarding resources. So we're going to have a lot of extra ability to talk about our earth stewardship while Mercury is here. And like I said, the sun is going to move in towards the end of the month. So go ahead and take a look at these for you and see what new energies are being brought up for you. And are there ways that you want to be revising your relationship to some of the energies that might be defined in your natal chart to bring them up to date with what's true for you now in your life? And according to the astrologers, the eclipses create permanent change. Okay. They really shift something in us. Like you can never see it the same. Once that shadow has gone over and then it comes away again, you see the world differently and you can never unsee it. Right? So as you're working with these different energies, ask yourself, what is it that is being illuminated for you, that is new for you? Allow yourself to be surprised. Allow yourself to be changed. Allow yourself to say, I am open to the spiritual information that is coming to me and through me, that is helping me to align with my own divine self, with my part in the divine plan, with what it is that I came here to do, and indeed with my deepest sense of meaning and purpose and what I'm here to contribute to the world. And if you want to take a deeper dive into these bigger questions of meaning and purpose and contribution, I do encourage you to come and join us for Midlife Purpose by Design. That's happening on Tuesday, the 18th, and there will be a recording available for those of you who are not able to come and join us live. So you can go ahead and register and receive the recording later. All right, my friends, I hope that I will see you there for that masterclass. And I would love, love, love to hear how all of this landed for you, and how you're going to be working with this really potent Virgo full moon, which is also a total lunar eclipse. All right. Many blessings. Much love, my friends. Bye for now.